What's up guys, my name is Tom, welcome back to another video, and here for another reaction of the 2020 F1 cars that are being released this week. And today we have finally Alpha Tauri, one of the liveries that were the most weighted in the whole F1 community, and we were right, this livery looks, let me say, looks absolutely amazing. But at the same time, to be honest, I was expecting just a little bit more from Alpha Tauri because of the sneak peeks that they posted, especially in one of them they had some hexagons, so I was expecting to see some hexagons on the side of the car, especially at the end plates or the rear wing. But nonetheless, it's an absolute amazing work by Alpha Tauri that previously was Toro Rosso. Remember, they decided to change the name, and if you don't know what Alpha Tauri is a clothing brand of Red Bull, and really looking forward to see how this team behaves. It's the same thing, the same factory, the same people that are working there. The only thing that changes is the name, but really excited to see. They had a great 2019 season, and hopefully they can do better this season. But in this car, I spotted a lot of differences comparing with last year's car that was the Toro Rosso, and I spotted a lot of difference when it comes to aero. So without further ado, let's start. First, make sure to smash like and subscribe to if you do see plenty more Formula 1 content. It really motivates me to make more, and we're going to start on the front of the car. And as you can see, I have a lot of lines here just to show you that there are some differences in this car. First is in the nose. The is very similar to last year's nose, but last year it had just a little hole in the center. This year it doesn't have any more. And then it's the front wing end plates. It used to be like a straight, I should say. Now it's a little bit more curvy. I don't know if that could help to make the airflow not interfere with the wheels. Maybe it's that, I'm not entirely sure, but I spotted that because in last year's car it was just a straight, and now this year is like a very curvy end plates. So that was pretty interesting to see. Then it's in the center of the nose that is highlighted in purple. As you can see, this part of the car is very regular. So if I switch to last year's car, it's like not regular. It has some pieces separated by tiny spaces. I don't know this name of this part of the car, so make sure to tell me on the comment section below. Then we have the airbox at the top of the car. We've seen some cars changing the geometry, I should say, of the airbox. Last year's car, it had these divided by 3 parts. It was divided by 2 columns, making kind of a triangle in the center. And in this year, it's just have 2 parts, and it's divided in half on the horizontal. And finally, highlighted in yellow, we have the barge boards, which it was a huge difference. So we're going to switch to last year's car. As you can see, a very thin barge board, and then up the barge boards we have the mirrors, as you can see, highlighted in yellow, like I said. If we switch to this year's car, we have a more complex barge board, and the mirrors have a wing, I should say, at the top. So we've seen this from the other teams, putting some wings on the mirror of the car, and here we can see a more complex barge board. So once again, teams are starting to be more extreme, I should say, with these aero rules that are supposed to be really simple, because the rules require very simple aero, and teams are starting to find, I should say, holes in these rules and putting more extreme aero, I should say, more complex aero. We've seen some from Ferrari, the winglets at the top of the airbox, for example, and we have more examples. So now we're going to switch to the side of the car, and have some more differences as well. We're going to start on the barge board that is highlighted in purple. We're going to switch to to last year's car, sorry. We're seeing Albon's name, then down that barge board, and we have another. So we have 2 barge boards divided by 2 little columns. Now if we switch to this year's car, it's the same thing, but now it has like a stretch, I should say, and it makes a little curve, and then it goes up just a tiny bit. So difference that I spotted here. Then it was on the turning vanes. They are highlighted in the red. So we're going to switch to this year's car. You have like the turning vane with the regular foam. Then it was divided by some gaps, you know, that are highlighted in red still. Now if we switch to this year's car, is a thing that is more regular. There's no gaps. So here the air could flow more consistently. But once again, this concept with the gaps and this more regular concept are two concepts that work in both ways. And the Toro also decided to adopt this year the regular one. Now we're going to the rear wing. As you can see, we have highlighted in a green, sorry, and we have some gaps in the Alpha Tauri logo. Now if you switch to last year's car, it's just a regular rear wing without holes, so Toro also decided to adopt that it's not stretchy, that design that is that reminds me of the Red Bull, because Red Bull doesn't have two gaps, it has just one. And probably AlphaTauri brought some inspiration from Red Bull, which makes a lot of sense because it's a sister team of Red Bull. And then finally, this reminds me of the Red Bull as well. Are you seeing the hairbox? You say that in the side of the car is saying AlphaTauri, then we have the airbox. It's highlighted in yellow, just a little bit down there. We're going to switch to last year's car. As you can see, we have a gap between the column and the Red Bull logo, I should say. And it's a little bit thick column. Now if you switch to this year's car, you can see that the gap is smaller, sorry. And the column is more thin, and this is on the Red Bull of this year. So once again, like I said, AlphaTauri bringing some inspiration from Red Bull. And finally, it's in this picture. It's not the front or the side. It's like I don't know how to call. We have just these parts on the front wing that is down on the car. You seeing the front wing now, just a little bit down. It's highlighted in green. You're seeing that this part makes like a shape of a triangle. Now if you switch to last year's car, it's a little bit more round. As you can see, it's not a triangle, it's a little bit more round, makes a shape of a rectangle, I should say, but it's a bit more round. And then in the badge boards, we're going to stick on last year's car. You can see it's a very regular. It's not the badge board, sorry, it's the turning vane. Is a little bit more regular, as you can see. In this year's car is a completely different story. As you can see, we have that regular path that was highlighted in red in the last picture. No, in the first picture, sorry. And then we have like some gaps, as you can see. So as you can see, AlphaTauri is adopting a lot of different ways comparing with the last year's car, and really interesting to see from the team. And these were a lot of difference that I spotted in this car, and really looking forward to see if these things are going to work, if we can see AlphaTauri battling for P4, which it would be amazing. They had a great last season, finishing P6. They had 2 podiums in that season, which is pretty crazy to see, especially when we live in a Formula 1, when a Formula 1 1.5, the best of the rest, one of the midfield teams gets a podium, is something absolutely rare and crazy. It means that we had a bang of a race. But yeah, really excited to see how this car works on track. A lot of different things that hopefully can work. But guys, that has been the video for today. Sorry for not posting yesterday. After the car was launched, I had some stuff to do, and now I'm doing this in the morning, day 15. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to smash like and subscribe channel to see plenty more Formula 1 content. It really motivates me to make more. Thank you for the support that you guys are giving in these last few days. Really appreciate that. You guys are absolutely insane. But for now, it's time to say goodbye. My name is Tom, and I'll see you guys for a brand new video next time. But for now, it's goodbye.